This is a story that will never make the news. It's a truth that, I'm afraid, almost no one will ever tell you. My name is Dr. Arthur Coleman. I am 90 years old, and I have spent my entire life, more than 60 years, as a physician. In all those decades, watching over patients. Do you know what the single most heartbreaking moments of my career have been? They are the moments when I see a single, tiny, seemingly insignificant habit completely and utterly shatter a person's life. I have seen it happen more times than I can count. I have watched, as if in slow motion, as people good, strong, intelligent people crumble in the face of one particular disease. That disease is diabetes. And today, I must talk to you about the most dangerous and the most misunderstood topic of all. I need to talk to you about fruit. Did you know that the very fruit you believe is healthy, that sweet, cold, refreshing slice you crave in the summer, could be the very thing that is causing your blood sugar to leap to catastrophic levels? In an instant, so many of us, as the weather turns warm, reach for watermelon. We tell ourselves so many comforting things. It quenches my thirst. It's sweet, so it makes me feel good. And it's not a candy bar. It's not a piece of cake. This is natural. This is from the earth. It's fine. We tell ourselves, it's more than 90% water. It's practically the same as drinking a glass of water. Right. This is the belief we hold, and I am here to tell you, as a 90-year-old doctor who has seen the devastating consequences, that this belief can be the chief culprit in silently, methodically, and relentlessly destroying the blood vessels in your body. I have met these people. I have sat across from them in my examination room. Time and time again, I've seen a man who was proud of his health his entire life, suddenly struck with diabetic retinopathy, losing his vision in a matter of months. I've held the hand of a woman whose kidneys failed, forcing her to begin the terrifying, life-altering process of dialysis. And when I looked back, when I forensically examined their life, their diet, their habits, I found a shocking common denominator. It was, almost always, a sweet, seemingly harmless piece of fruit, eaten mindlessly, day after day, week after week, year after year. In my 60 years of practice, I have watched an uncounted number of diabetes patients, and I have seen their lives collapse, all for the sake of a single oaters, misunderstood food. You must understand. Diabetes is not a simple disease where your blood gets a little sweet. That is a dangerously naive way to see it. Diabetes is a disease where the high, circulating levels of sugar in your bloodstream act like tiny, sharp, microscopic shards of glass. Imagine that, shards of glass, flowing through your entire body. They scrape, they cut, they tear, they create inflammation and damage to the delicate, paper-thin lining of every single blood vessel you have. From the crown of your head to the very tips of your toes, there is not a single place in your body where your blood vessels do not reach. Can you understand, then, how profound and all-encompassing the danger is? Even now, as I speak these words, I know that millions of people are eating this fruit every single day. They are thinking, it's natural, it's mostly water, it's fine. I am telling you, with all the gravity in my heart, that belief is dangerous. That single, dangerous belief is the superhighway that leads directly to the irreversible, devastating complications of this disease. Diabetes is not just a numbers problem on a glucose meter. It is a disease where one small habit can enrages and will rock your entire life to its foundation. The point is not to panic every time you see a high number. That is not what's important. The important thing, the only thing that matters, is to remember this fact. What you choose to eat today, how you choose to eat it, will determine your health 10 years and 20 years from now. If you will give me your time and stay with me to the end of this message, you will understand exactly what you need to change, and you will understand why, with a desperate urgency, that time to change is right now. I am going to share with you the wisdom I have gathered over 60 years. Everything I have learned, I will give to you, so that you can protect your health for the rest of your life. Please, I ask you to listen. As you are listening to this, I'm curious. What part of the country are you in? What city or state? Please, leave a comment and let me know. I truly enjoy seeing where these messages of health are reaching, and I will try my best to greet you personally. The man who was betrayed by health. I want to tell you about a patient of mine. His name was Robert Miller. Robert was 74 years old when he first came to see me. Not for diabetes, but for what he thought was just a routine checkup. He was a retired school principal, a man of profound discipline and routine. He was, in every sense of the word, a serious and diligent man. He was a model of health. Oshu, he thought. His routine was clockwork. He would wake up every morning at 6 a.m. without fail. He would go for a 1-hour walk on the hills behind his home. He would come back and eat a simple, Spartan breakfast of brown rice, some steamed vegetables, and perhaps a small piece of fish. Anyone who looked at Robert's life would see him as a paragon of healthy aging, and Robert himself. He would often tell me, "Doctor, my health is the one thing I've always been able to count on. I've taken care of this body." But Robert had one single, small pleasure, a little ritual. After he finished his healthy breakfast, he would go to the refrigerator and take out a single, cold slice of watermelon. He told me, "Doctor, that one bite of cold, sweet watermelon, it just makes the morning feel perfect." He operated under the same assumption we all do. It's mostly water. It's natural. It's gotta be fine. And with that thought, he continued this habit for years. Then, one morning, everything changed. It was a day like any other. He had finished his walk. He had eaten his healthy breakfast. He had enjoyed his single slice of perfectly ripe watermelon. He sat down in his armchair to read the newspaper. Suddenly, a headache, like a bolt of lightning, split his vision. It was a pain so sudden and so intense. It took his breath away. At the same moment, his right hand and right leg went numb. He described it to me later. He said, "It was the strangest feeling. Doctor, it was like my own arm and leg didn't belong to me, like they were just heavy, useless pieces of meat, packed in ice." At first, he tried to brush it off. I'm just getting old," he thought. "It's just bad circulation." But the symptoms grew worse. Fast. The numbness turned into a heavy paralysis. His wife, seeing the panic in his eyes and the droop in his face, called an ambulance. Robert was rushed to the emergency room. After a battery of tests, an MRI, and blood work, the neurologist came into his room. His face was grim. "Mr. Miller," the doctor said, "the test results show you've had a lacunar infarct. It's a type of microstroke. A very small, but very deep, blood vessel in your brain has become blocked." It was a thunderbolt from a clear blue sky, and it was only then, as the doctors began to piece together his life, that Robert finally understood. "What I ate," he told me later, his voice trembling. "What I ate did this to me." For a man who had prided himself on his health, this was a shock he could barely comprehend. He had no high blood pressure. He didn't drink. He didn't smoke. He couldn't understand why this would happen to him. When I dug deep into his daily habits, when I questioned him hour by hour, he remembered the watermelon. The neurologist confirmed it. That was the most likely trigger. "Mr. Miller," he said, "here is what happened." Robert was eating this high glycemic fruit on a near-empty stomach. This action, day after day, was causing a massive, rapid, and violent blood sugar spike. These spikes, repeated over years and years, were acting like a tiny hammer, striking the delicate walls of his blood vessels day after day. The shards of glass were scraping and damaging those tiny, fragile vessels in his brain, and on that Tuesday morning, one of those vessels finally gave out. It clogged. It died. In that moment, Robert told me he felt a sense of betrayal. Betrayal by his own body, betrayal by healthy food, and a deep, profound regret. It was almost impossible for him to accept that this one, tiny, healthy habit he enjoyed so much had been the thing that was slowly, silently, trying to kill him. But you must not stop listening here, because what happened after the diagnosis is the most important part of Robert's story. It's the part that shows us what is necessary for us. Right now, Robert could have fallen into despair. He could have given up, but instead of surrendering, He looked back at his life, and he made a decision. He decided to change. The very first thing he did when he was discharged from the hospital was go to his kitchen. He took the rest of the watermelon from his refrigerator, and he threw it in the trash. And then, he replaced it. He filled that empty space in his refrigerator with cherry tomatoes and a few kiwis. It was such a small change. It seems almost trivial, doesn't it? But his body, his magnificent, resilient body, began to respond. Honestly, months later, when he returned to my clinic for a follow-up, his blood sugar levels, which we were now monitoring closely, were visibly, beautifully, stable. Robert Miller, the retired principal, found a new calling. He became a health evangelist. He shared his story, his near miss, with everyone in his community, trying to spread the word about the vital importance of understanding the food we eat. This is not just a story about a man named Robert. It is not just a story about a piece of fruit. It is a story that could, very easily, become your story. If you haven't already, please subscribe to this message and like it. It is so important. By doing so, you are helping this life-saving information reach others. If you stay with me to the end, you will understand, with perfect clarity, why you must change your habits. Starting today. Think about your own kitchen. Think about your own refrigerator. What is sitting on that shelf? Is there a healthy food that you are eating? Mindlessly, every single day. Part 1. The 5 dangerous habits that are destroying your blood sugar. Hello again. This is Dr. Teplerif Lashwan. Arthur Coleman. We just saw, through Robert Miller's story, how easily we can fall into the blood sugar trap. Now, I want to dig deeper. I want to be very, very specific. We are going to explore the 5 most dangerous, hidden in plain sight, food habits that are silently dismantling your health. If you can take what I am about to say and truly carve it into your mind, I am confident, I am certain that your health 10 and 20 years from now will be completely different. Habit 1. The sweet fruit trap. We've discussed this, but let's get into the hard science. Those fruits that tempt us in the summer, the watermelon, the cantaloupe, the honeydew melon, these are, for all intents and purposes, a sugar bomb for your body. Many people think fruit is a vegetable. Right. It's similar. From a blood sugar management perspective, this is absolutely 100% wrong. There is a number we use in medicine called the glycemic index, or GI. It's a score from 0 to 100 that tells us how fast a food breaks down and turns into sugar in your bloodstream. Pure glucose is 100. Watermelon has a glycemic index of 76 to 80. This is incredibly high. This is a fact, based on data published by the World Health Organization, WHO. Let me give you a simple analogy. Eating a slice of watermelon is, to your pancreas, the exact same as taking sugar water and injecting it directly into your veins at high speed. Your body panics. To control this sudden flood of sugar, your pancreas, that small, hard-working organ, is forced to overwork. It has to pump out massive, unnatural amounts of insulin to try and get that sugar out of the blood. When you do this over and over, day after day, your pancreas gets tired. It becomes exhausted. It eventually just gives up. This is exactly the trap that Robert Miller fell into. That one slice of watermelon, after breakfast, that small habit, repeated for years, caused his blood sugar to spike and crash. Spike and crash. It accumulated, like a million tiny cuts, until it caused a stroke. He was, for years, in a pre-diabetic state and had absolutely no idea. So, must you never eat watermelon again? No, that's not what I'm saying. What is important is the amount and the time. Your daily intake must be limited to 1, perhaps 2, small wedges. And this is critical. You must avoid it at night. Never eat it before bed. At night, our body's natural insulin sensitivity plummets. Our ability to manage sugar is drastically reduced. Eating it at night is pouring gasoline on a fire. Are you, right now, with a refrigerator full of cut watermelon? Be honest with me. When you eat it, how many slices do you really have? 1, 2, Do you just cut a huge wedge and eat it down to the rind? Please, share your honest answer in the comments. There is no shame here. Only learning. Habit 2. The dangerous healthy breakfast, the potato. Many of my older patients, in their 60 seconds, 70 seconds, and 80 seconds, love to eat a steamed potato for breakfast, or perhaps some simple mashed potatoes. The logic is, it's gentle on my stomach. It's soft, easy to swallow. It's a good substitute for a full breakfast. I must tell you, from a blood sugar perspective, this is one of the worst choices you can possibly make. The glycemic index of a white potato, especially when boiled or mashed, is over 90. Let me repeat that. Over 90. This is, functionally, the same as eating pure sugar. Now, compare this to a similar root vegetable, the sweet potato. The glycemic index of a sweet potato is below 60. Just because they both grow in the ground does not mean your body treats them the same. They are, chemically, worlds apart. A joint report from the Food and Agriculture Organization (FAO) and the WHO explicitly warns that high GI foods, like the white potato, place an enormous burden on your pancreas and its ability to secrete insulin. I had a patient. Let's call her Helen Swanson. She was 68. Helen told me that her greatest joy was eating a steamed potato from her own backyard garden every single morning. But she came to me with a complaint. "Doctor," she said, "I don't understand it. Every day, right around lunchtime, I just hit a wall. I have no energy. I feel this deep fatigue and brain fog all afternoon." We checked her blood sugar. It was a perfect, textbook example of what we call the blood sugar roller coaster. Her levels would skyrocket to a peak 2 hours after breakfast, and then, by noon, they would crash, plummeting to a level that left her feeling exhausted and weak. The cause? That healthy steamed potato. I made a simple recommendation. "Helen," I said, "I want you to try something. Tomorrow morning, instead of the white potato, I want you to eat half a boiled sweet potato, 1 hard-boiled egg, and 1 small cucumber." She was skeptical at first. "But doctor, the potato is so good." She trusted me, and in 1 week, her body changed. She came back to my office with a new light in her eyes. "The afternoon crash is gone," she said. "I feel light. I feel steady all day long." Of course, even with sweet potatoes, you cannot overdo it. Half of one, or 1 small one, is the proper amount. The important thing is knowing what you are eating. What did you have for breakfast today? I'm genuinely curious about your morning menu. Habit 3. It's natural. So, it's fine fallacy. The juice. Organic. Natural. No sugar added. These are words that appear on bottles and cartons. They are designed to make us feel safe. They make us feel virtuous, as if we are making a healthy choice. This is, perhaps, the most dangerous illusion of all. Just because something is made from natural ingredients does not mean it is good for your blood sugar. If the sugar content is high, it is, to your pancreas, the same as a poison. The biggest culprit here, the healthy drinks, raw fruit juice and vegetable juice blends. When you put a fruit, let's say an apple, into a juicer, you are performing a violent act. You are completely destroying and obliterating the single most important part of that fruit, the fiber. What is left? A highly concentrated liquid sugar. The glycemic index of most commercial apple juice is over 85. That is no different, let me be clear, no different than a can of Coke or Pepsi. A 50-year-old woman came into my clinic not long ago. She was so proud. "Doctor," she boasted, "I'm so healthy. I drink 1 pack of organic, cold-pressed apple juice every single morning." She had just come from a checkup. Her results showed she was in the pre-diabetic stage, on the verge of a full-blown diagnosis. She was in shock. "But why?" she asked me, tears in her eyes. I was doing everything right. I was taking the good stuff. The reason was clear. In the process of juicing that apple, the fiber, the part that slows down sugar absorption, was eliminated. All that was left was the simple sugar, the fructose, which was absorbed instantly. If she had simply taken half an apple, skin, and all, and slowly chewed it, her blood sugar would have been fine. It is always better to chew your fruit than to drink it. The very act of chewing does two things. It stimulates the release of digestive enzymes. It sends a satiety signal to your brain, which prevents you from overeating. The time it takes you to chew has a direct impact on the speed of your blood sugar's rise. That one healthy glass of juice you're drinking every morning, it may be the very thing that is harming your health. Are you drinking a daily health juice or blend? Habit 4. The hypoglycemia misconception, the candy. People with diabetes often experience the terrifying symptoms of hypoglycemia, low blood sugar. You suddenly feel a cold sweat. Your hands start to tremble. You feel dizzy, like you're going to faint. In this moment of panic, what is the first thing most people do? They reach for candy, a chocolate bar, a sweet, sugary drink. Now, in a true emergency, raising blood sugar fast is important. But when this becomes a habit, it creates a much larger problem. Simple sugars, like candy or soda, do their job too well. They cause your blood sugar to spike violently. Your body, which is already struggling to regulate, panics. It releases a flood of insulin to deal with this new emergency. This, in turn, causes your blood sugar to crash again, often even lower than it was before. This is the rebound effect. You get trapped in a vicious cycle of spikes and crashes. I had a patient tell me he felt a low coming on, so he quickly ate 2 hard candies. 30 minutes later, he felt worse. He was overwhelmed with a profound dizziness and lethargy. We checked his sugar. His number was lower than it was before he ate the candy. This is a perfect example of how sensitive your body is to these rapid changes. Therefore, when you feel a low coming on, the smarter, safer choice is a complex carbohydrate, something that will raise your blood sugar gently and stably. Half a banana, 1 or 2 whole grain crackers, a small, single-serving pack of unsweetened soy milk. The most dangerous thing you can do for your blood sugar is to eat a simple, sugary food on an empty stomach. You must avoid it. When you feel a low, what is your go-to solution? Please, share your method. Habit 5. Ignoring the order of your meal. This is one of the most brilliant and simple pieces of advice I can give you, and almost no one knows it. You can eat the exact same meal, the same chicken, the same rice, the same broccoli, and have a wildly different blood sugar response, all depending on the order in which you eat the food. Most of us, especially in America, just eat. We have a bite of steak, then a bite of potato, then a bite of bread. We mix it all up. This means that the carbohydrate, the bread, the potato, the rice is hitting your stomach first, or all at once. This leads to a rapid, high spike. Research has shown, conclusively, that if you eat your food in a specific order, you can reduce your post-meal blood sugar spike by as much as 30%. Here is the correct order. First, vegetables. Eat your salad, your green beans, your broccoli. The fiber creates a cushion in your stomach and intestines. Second, protein and fats. Eat your chicken, your fish, your tofu, your avocado. Last, carbohydrates. Eat your rice, your bread, your potato at the end of the meal. I taught this method to a 70-year-old patient. At first, she said, "Oh, doctor, that's just awkward. I like to eat my rice with my fish." I pleaded with her, "Just try it. For 1 week." For me, she agreed. Before every meal, she would eat her side of pickled vegetables or a small salad. Then, she would eat her protein, the fish or tofu, and only at the very end would she eat her small bowl of rice. 1 week later, she came back to my office and held up her glucose meter, showing me the log. "It's like a lie," she said, her eyes wide. Her post-meal numbers were visibly, shockingly, stable. That tiny change which vegetable gets to your stomach first brought an incredible result. Conversely, the habit of eating your carbohydrates first is one of the most dangerous things you can do for your blood sugar. Think about your dinner last night. What order did you eat in? Why not try to change it? Just for tonight. Part 2. The 5 hopeful habits to stabilize your blood sugar. We have just walked through some dark territory. We've seen the dangers that are hiding in our own kitchens, but I am a doctor. My job is not to scare you, it is to heal you. So now, instead of talking about the darkness, let's talk about the light. Let's talk about the concrete, hopeful, practical things you can do to take back control of your health. These are not difficult. These are small, simple habits you can start today. Habit 1. Believe in the power of 10 grapes. This one surprises many of my patients. Many people, once they get a diabetes diagnosis, are told, grapes are forbidden. They are too sweet. Never eat them. This is only half true. Yes, grapes are sweet, but that sweetness comes primarily from fructose. Fructose, unlike the glucose in bread or potatoes, is processed differently by the body. It is absorbed more slowly. In other words, grapes have a low glycemic index. This means they help prevent a sudden, sharp spike in blood sugar. They reduce the burden on your pancreas. Furthermore, the skin and seeds of grapes are rich in a powerful antioxidant called resveratrol. There is significant research showing that resveratrol helps to clean your blood vessels and improve your body's insulin resistance. But, and this is the most important, but you will ever hear, this is not permission to eat a whole bunch. The danger of grapes is that it's easy to mindlessly eat 50 of them. You must practice portion control. A serving is one small handful. That means 10 to 15 grapes. That is all. Do not, ever, sit down with the whole bag. You must take your 10 to 15 grapes, put them in a small bowl, and put the bag away. This is a non-negotiable habit. And when should you eat them? The absolute best time to eat this small portion of fruit is as an afternoon snack, around 3 or 4 p.m. When you feel that little dip in energy, eating this good sugar at this time helps prevent you from binge eating at dinner. Instead of a slice of watermelon, try 10 grapes. This small change will make your blood sugar curve so much gentler. What did you snack on today? Was it a cookie? A handful of chips? Tomorrow, try 10 grapes and see how you feel. Habit 2. Experience the miracle of the 30-minute walk. When I say exercise, most people groan. They imagine a sweaty gym, heavy weights, or running until they are out of breath. For a person managing blood sugar, that kind of intense exercise is not necessary and can even be dangerous. The most effective and safest exercise is simply walking. But when you walk is the entire secret. The most magical time to walk is within 30 minutes after you finish a meal. Here is why. When you eat a meal, the carbohydrates are being broken down into glucose sugar and are entering your bloodstream. At that exact moment, if you move your muscles, if you walk, your muscle cells wake up. They open their doors and they pull that glucose directly out of your bloodstream to use as immediate fuel. You are, in effect, burning the fuel before it even has a chance to become a problem. You don't give your blood sugar a chance to spike. This post-meal walk will take that sharp, jagged mountain peak on your glucose monitor and smooth it out into a gentle, rolling hill. If your habit, after dinner, is to collapse on the sofa and watch television, I am begging you to change it. Tonight, just for 20 minutes. Walk around your block. I strongly recommend a 20 to 30-minute walk after your evening meal. You might be thinking, but doctor, I'm tired after dinner. I promise you, if you do this, you will find the opposite to be true. The light walk will improve your circulation, help your digestion, and you will sleep better. This is not exercise. This is treatment. This is the most important part of your therapy. If it's raining, march in place in your living room. The key is to do it every day. How much did you walk today? Share your daily step count in the comments. Habit 3. Cut your evening fruit in half. Many of us love a little dessert after dinner, a little something sweet, and we think fruit is the healthy choice. This is a very bad habit for your blood sugar. Your body runs on a clock, a circadian rhythm. The way your body handles food in the morning is completely different from how it handles it at night. During the day, your insulin is active and sensitive. At night, your body's insulin sensitivity plummets. Your ability to process sugar decreases dramatically. This means that the exact same piece of fruit, say, one apple, will have a much more severe effect at night. If eating an apple in the morning raises your blood sugar by 10 points, eating that same apple at night might raise it by 15 or 20 points. Worse, when you eat fruit late at night, that high blood sugar stays in your system all night long. While you sleep, those shards of glass are scraping your vessels for 8 solid hours. This is also a primary cause of high fasting blood sugar, that high number you see in the morning, before you've even eaten. So, must you give up your evening pleasure entirely? No. The method is simple. Cut the portion in half. If you normally eat a whole apple, eat half. If you eat a whole pear, eat half. And here is a pro tip. Never eat the fruit alone. Eat that half piece of fruit with a small handful of nuts like almonds or a small piece of cheese. The fiber and fat from the nuts will slow down the absorption of the fruit's sugar, giving your body a fighting chance. This one tiny habit can change your entire next morning. Are you a morning apple person or a night apple person? I'm curious about your habits. Habit 4. Vitamin C is your blood vessel's shield. The real reason diabetes is so terrifying is not the high blood sugar itself. It is the vascular complications that come from it. As I've said, high blood sugar creates oxidative stress, a flood of toxic substances called free radicals. These are the shards of glass. They are the attackers. This is where we need a defender. We need a shield. That shield is vitamin C. Vitamin C is a powerful antioxidant. Its job is to find these free radicals and neutralize them on the spot. It stops them from damaging your blood vessels. Our bodies cannot make vitamin C. We must get it from an external source. While eating vitamin C-rich foods is wonderful, to get the truly protective effect for your blood vessels, I strongly recommend supplementation. But there is a way to take it. Vitamin C is water-soluble. This means your body can't store it. After a few hours, whatever you don't use is just flushed out in your urine. Therefore, taking one giant 3,000 milligrams pill in the morning is useless. The most effective method is to take smaller doses, multiple times per day, to keep a consistent level in your blood. My recommendation for my patients is 1,000 milligrams, 3 times per day, taken immediately after each meal. This maximizes absorption and provides a 24-hour shield for your vessels. A word of caution: do not exceed 3,000 milligrams per day, as it can cause stomach upset or diarrhea. Are you currently and consistently taking a vitamin C supplement? Habit 5. Practice the art of eating slowly. This may be the most fundamental and most powerful habit of all. The speed at which you eat has a direct 1-to-1 correlation with the speed of your blood sugar's rise. Eating fast is, in every way, harmful to your health. It burdens your stomach. You are swallowing poorly chewed food, forcing your stomach to do all the work. It causes overeating. Your brain's "I'm full" signal is on a delay. It takes a minimum of 15 to 20 minutes for your stomach to tell your brain that it is satisfied. If you eat fast, you can eat an entire, enormous meal before your brain even knows you've started. It spikes your insulin. When you eat fast, you are mainlining glucose into your blood. It's a tidal wave. Your pancreas has to panic, releasing a massive, excessive amount of insulin. This is one of the biggest things that wears your pancreas out. From today, I want you to become a conscious eater. Set a goal. Your meal should take a minimum of 15 minutes. If you have time, aim for 30 minutes. Practice this. Put your fork or spoon down on the table between every single bite. Chew each bite a minimum of 20 times. Taste the food. When you chew your food that long, the digestive enzymes in your saliva amylase begin to break down the food before it even hits your stomach. This not only aids digestion, but it also increases your satisfaction. Eating slowly is not just good manners. It is a primary, foundational treatment for protecting your pancreas and controlling your blood sugar. How long do you really take to finish a meal? 5 minutes. 10 minutes. Time yourself at dinner tonight. The results may shock you. Your life is in your hands. Let's bring all of this together. After 60 years of practicing medicine, after watching thousands of patients navigate this difficult disease, my conclusion is this: your daily habits are infinitely more powerful than any prescription I can write. A pill can force your blood sugar down after it's already high. A habit can prevent your blood sugar from ever reaching that dangerous level in the first place. One is a rescue. The other is a shield. I want you to live your life with a shield. Today, we have shared a long talk. We've learned a lot. We learned about the sugar bombs hiding behind natural labels, like watermelon, white potatoes, and fruit juice. We now know to see them for what they are. In their place, we learned to choose a few grapes, a sweet potato, and the whole, raw fruit instead of the juice. We learned that how we eat is just as important as what we eat. We learned to change our meal order veggies first. We learned to cut our nightly fruit in half. We learned the miracle of a 30-minute walk after our meal. And we learned the basics, taking vitamin C as a shield and chewing our food slowly as our foundation. All of these, together, are the true power that will protect your blood sugar. Now, I want you to imagine, for a moment, what happens if you ignore this? What if you go back to your old habits? I don't have to imagine. I have seen it. It's a future where you wake up every morning and your hands and feet are numb and tingling. A future where your vision is blurry and you can no longer see your grandchildren's faces clearly. It's a future where you live in constant fear. A fear of a small cut on your foot that won't heal. A cut that could lead to an amputation. It's a future where you may have to spend your golden years traveling to a clinic 3 times a week to be hooked up to a dialysis machine that cleans your blood because your own kidneys have failed. This was the pain I saw in my examination room. This was the reality for so many of my patients, and every single one of them, in their moments of deepest regret, said the same thing to me. Doctor, if only I had known. If I had known back then, if I had just changed that one small habit. But I believe that you, who have stayed with me and listened to this entire message, will have a different future. I know you can. By embracing these correct habits, you can forge a completely different destiny. A future where you wake up in the morning and your body feels light. A future where you have the health and energy to run in the park with your grandchildren. A future where you can travel and eat delicious local food without fear. A future where you can go to sleep at night peacefully without worrying about your blood sugar. A life where you are not a slave to your blood sugar, but the master of your own health. This is why we must change these small habits. This is the precious reward that we will earn. I am going to give you one piece of homework. Just one. It is very simple. One thing you can do today, tonight, after you finish your dinner. Do not go to the sofa. Do not turn on the television. Instead, put on your shoes. Open your front door and just walk for 15 minutes. That's it. You can spare 15 minutes. It's less than one television show. That one small choice will change the concentration of sugar flowing in your blood vessels tonight. It will make your body feel lighter and cleaner tomorrow morning. And that one small choice, if you repeat it, can make the difference between a healthy life and a life of regret. Do not underestimate the power of consistency. I truly hope that my words today, my life's work, can be a small light on your path to a healthy, vibrant, and long life. In my next message, I am going to build on what we learned today. I will be sharing a concrete, specific 7-day meal plan designed to control diabetes. It will be a plan you can follow, day by day, to feel your blood sugar stabilize. I am preparing it carefully for you. You can look forward to it. But for today, is there one thing you heard that you will commit to changing? Just one. Please, leave a comment and tell me what your commitment is. Writing it down makes it real. And as I asked before, please tell me what city or region you are watching this from. It gives me great strength to know I am not speaking into the void, but to a real community of people who are ready to reclaim their health. Thank you. Be well.